What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Babymetal, yes indeed, Babymetal Fans Feeling You. Come on now, here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Andy LaRubin, and this is actually Andy LaRubin's prioritized request for the month of July for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Andy. I hope you enjoy the show, man. Andy wanted to see me react to this. It is the unfinished version of the Babymetal song Akatsuki. Now, have I heard the song before? Full disclosure, yes I have. I've done a reaction to this song. At least to the original song, the finished version, the studio version, the live version. I've done that, okay? So it's over here somewhere on the channel. I don't know where it is, but it's over here somewhere. If you go look for it, you'll find it. So I have heard the original song. I have heard the full version, the finished version. I believe I have. It didn't say it wasn't unfinished. But like I said, this is specifically the unfinished version. Now, what does that mean? Honestly, I have no clue. I wasn't told anything. I don't know what the difference is going to be between this and what I've already heard. So this should be interesting, but just for full disclosure, full transparency, I have done a reaction to this before. I have heard the full song before. I've done a reaction to it, so I will not be taking the original song into account in any way, shape, or form. I'm only going to be reacting to, evaluating, and scoring this unfinished version. What's different about it? Why is it unfinished? I mean, is it missing something, or is it missing a part? Is it missing an instrument? I honestly could not tell you. I have no idea. Only way to find out, I guess, is to check it out. This was posted by Fur, F-E-R-R, Fur. Yeah, take that for what it's worth. And the video has 22,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? You ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Babymetal Akatsuki unfinished version, live at Legend 1997 4K. Yeah, right. 4K in 1997? I doubt it. Anyway, all right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
メタルの魂を守るため自らの命と引き換えに戦ったスーメタル。やがてスーメタルの魂は紅の炎となり天空を赤く染めたのである。だが遠くの星が消えゆく。命の終焉はこの世の断りなのだ。今赤き月がスーメタルと共に
Yay! Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the point where the band was supposed to kick in, was right there? The guitar and the bass and the drums? Isn't that what they were, like in the other versions I've heard, isn't that where the band kicks in? Okay, okay. So is this version just piano only? That could be interesting. Let's see how this goes. Either the piano needs to come down in volume or they need to boost her vocals up. Because right now, I'm sorry, she's getting buried. She's getting buried in spots by the piano. That is not good. Some volume adjusting needs to happen. I don't know. I don't know if that could be an FOH thing or the keyboard just needs to bring his volume down a little bit. I don't know, but something needs to happen. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but this is beautiful. And you know what? You're absolutely right. It is beautiful. Okay. As a ballad goes, it sounds great. It does. But I've heard the original. I've heard the version with the guitar and the bass and the drums. And I love the energy that comes from that song. I do. Now here's the thing. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I even made this comment in that reaction. I think I said this. The song makes more sense as a ballad. And I think I wondered how it would sound as a ballad, as a stripped down piano and vocal performance, which is exactly what we're getting right now. And I'm getting my answer. Does it sound better? Here's the thing. And this is the part that's going to really make people, shake their heads and go, what did he just say? I hate it. I don't like this. I really don't. But you know something? It makes more sense as a ballad. It does. I hate to say it, but this version makes more sense from a song standpoint. What the song is about, what the song entails, the emotions and the feelings the song is supposed to invoke and provoke. And it's doing all of that. It is better than the version I heard before. I personally like the other version better. I like the rock elements. I like the energy. I like the drive. But this makes more sense. I don't like it. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further and I'll downright say I hate it. But it does make sense. It does. It absolutely makes more sense. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, let's keep going here. I do not remember that part in the other version. I don't remember those vocal lines being in there. That sounded new. You know, whenever you have a song that is going to go through some reworks, there's always going to be differences. There's always going to be changes. Compared to the rough cut and the final version. You know, it's going to go through a lot of renditions. It's kind of like writing a book. You know, you write a book or like a movie script. You know, you have your first draft, right? Your first draft. And then you look at your first draft and don't look at anything else. Just look at your first draft and look at your final copy, the final version. Look how much of a difference there is. You know, and then go back and look at all the revisions that were made. 5 revisions, 8 revisions, 17 revisions. I mean, however many revisions are needed to get to that final thing, it could be quite the journey. It is. And when you're writing songs, you'd be amazed. It's very similar. Maybe not as many revisions. Usually there's like, 3 or 4 revisions tops. Usually. Now, of course, there's always the exceptions where you'll have a song that goes through 13 revisions. They're there. They're absolutely there. Then again, you also have the songs that only go through 1 or 2 revisions too. Or there's also the songs that go through no revisions. You hit it out of the park on the first swing. So, but it's fun to watch the evolution of a song. It is. And if you're fortunate enough to be on the outside looking in and you have the chance to see those revisions, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to compare them to the final product and see which one you like better. I'll give you an example. There's, okay, well, I'm going to use this example. Kiss. Here we go again. Kiss released a box set of, previously unreleased material. And a lot of them were demos, And one of the things I found fascinating was, for those of you that are familiar with the song God of Thunder, right? At that slower tempo, doom doom ba doom 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 bow ba ba da ba da bow. You've got something about you. You've got something about me. You heard that song, right? It's at that slower tempo on the Destroyer album. But before that, a lot of people don't know this. That song was actually originally sang by Paul Stanley. You got something about you. You got something I need. Daughter of Aphrodite. We're making love to a theme. And it's hysterical to listen to the original let's listen to the Paul Stanley version, compare it to the Gene Simmons version, and you can see why the revisions needed to happen. But I also know a lot of people who hear the Paul Stanley version and they go, oh, I like it better. And I'm like, you what?
You kidding me?
You're putting me on.
Apologize!
Sacrilege! How dare you? But there's a classic example though. You have these revisions and sometimes even straight up rewrites, revisioning. And let's try it with this vocalist instead, and slow down the tempo. A lot. Let's get rid of the female backing vocalists. Make it sound less disco and more rock, for God's sakes. But, it's funny to watch those revisions, and if you're lucky enough to have the opportunity to see those revisions and see the development, see the growth, for lack of a better word, see the evolution of a song from its infancy to its final form, it's pretty cool to see the journey. It really is. Anyway, let's finish this out, and we'll get to the review. On that mic. Woo. Anyway. Yeah, I think you all have a pretty good idea already of where this is gonna go. So, let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Babymetal with the unfinished version of Akatsuki. This was a request from Andy LaRubin, and this was actually Andy's prioritized request for the month of July for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Andy. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. I think I made it pretty clear during the course of the reaction that I was not a fan. I really didn't enjoy this version of the song. If you know anything about me, you know I'm not really into ballads. Ballads and I really have never seen eye to eye. I can honestly count on both hands the number of ballads I've heard in my life that I've actually enjoyed. And I can tell you straight up, folks, this is not going to join those ranks. I didn't enjoy it. It was very pretty. It was definitely pretty, without question. And here's the thing. Despite the fact that I personally may not like it, I personally, I'll be honest with you, folks, I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I personally hated it. I really did. I did not enjoy this at all. Now, having said that, though, I believe I said this in my original reaction to the original version of the song that I saw a number of years ago. I wonder what this song would sound like stripped down if it was just vocals and keyboards, or just vocals and strings, or just vocals and piano. What if it was just that? Well, I got the answer to my question right here. And the thing is, if I remember correctly, I don't know if I actually said this or not, but if I didn't, I should have, because I meant to say it. I don't know why. I'm almost positive I did, though. I'll bet you anything it'll probably work better. And here's the thing, folks, it did. This song does work better like this. At least I think so. Looking at what the song is about, what the type of chordal structure and the chordal flow of the song, the type of feelings that are meant to be evoked and provoked by the song, it actually makes more sense to have it just be piano and vocals. It does. I'll be honest with you. Despite the fact that I may not like it, I personally think this is the way the song should have been all along. Now, I like the other version better. Definitely, without question, with the guitars and the bass and the drums and the double time feel and the energy. I like it more personally, but it makes more sense doing it this way. But having said that, though, if you're looking at this from the standpoint of comparing the two, does this version make more sense? Yes, it absolutely does. But the other version, the version I like, is far more impressive. It's far more impressive. Now, that's not to say that this is a bad job by any stretch. It's actually not. Like I said, this version makes far more sense. And it really gives Sue a chance to show off her vocal ability in this format. I really wish a couple of things had happened. Number one, the biggest issue for me was the piano was just too loud. I'm sorry. I know there's going to be people who disagree with me, and listen, they are more than welcome to disagree with me all they want. But isn't the purpose of this song, isn't the point of this song to show off Sue's vocals? How can she be showing off her vocals when her voice is literally getting buried by the piano and the strings? I just don't understand that. I don't get it. Now, is that Sue's fault? No, it's not. First of all, she's sitting down and singing. For those of you that know anything about vocals, sitting down and singing, believe it or not, is harder to do than it is to stand and sing. You're not able to expand your chest, you're not able to expand your diaphragm nearly as well, and you're not able to support nearly as well when you're sitting down as when you're standing up. It's a lot easier to do these things standing than it is sitting. I think she did a fine job with what she had, though. I mean, considering the fact that she was sitting down, I think she sounded fine. I wouldn't want to change a thing from her. But considering the fact that the piano and the string patch were burying her basically in places, that was not a good mix. You know, either raise her vocals, which I wouldn't recommend doing, or lower the piano and the strings, which I absolutely would recommend doing. Now, whose fault is that? Could be FOH. It depends on where the sound source for the video was coming from. Was it coming from the board? If so, that can be very easily rectified. Is it coming from, you know, the audience? Is it a mic capture? You know, mics around the audience capturing the sound? I don't think so. I don't hear. I mean, I hear crowd noise. I do, but the signal is just too clean. The signal is too. It's too sweet. It's not. It sounds too pure to me. It sounds like it's coming from the board. That can be very easily fixed, and I don't know why FOH didn't fix that. I don't know why the board guy didn't fix that. Could that be fixed in post-production? It depends on if the signals are married. Maybe, possibly. If you're recording each and every channel independently, yeah, it can be very easily fixed in post-production. But then again, if everything's just going to left and right and it's all being married within the board to a single output or a left and right channel output, then no, there's nothing you can do, unfortunately. It really depends on the recording process and how they're doing it. That was honestly my biggest gripe, was the fact that it was just the piano was just at times burying Sue. And isn't the whole point of this song to show off Sue's vocals? Or is it to show off the piano players, if there even is a piano player, show off the piano player's ability? To me, that sounded all like track. I didn't see a piano player, so, you know, I think they kind of got the signals crossed on what was more important there. But nonetheless, it still sounded good. It sounded pretty. Mission accomplished. Absolutely mission accomplished. And as with any questions that I had about what this would sound like stripped down, it sounds good. It sounds really good. I think it's the more appropriate version, but it's just not the version I particularly prefer. Having said all that, though, I'm still going to give it a great score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm still going to give that an 8.0. Yep, 8.0. I feel good about that score. I already told you pretty much all the reasons why.
Why?
So there really isn't any reason to go back into it. I will say, if the piano had not been burying Sue as much, if we had heard Sue, instead of being like this, where this is the piano and this is Sue, if it had been more like this, I could guarantee you that score would have gone from at least from an 8.0 to up to at least an 8.2, possibly 8.3. The mix was just unforgivable. I'm sorry. I just did not like the mix at all. But overall, I thought she did a fine job with her vocals. What I could hear sounded just fine. I like that variation that she had towards the end, where she had that additional part that I don't remember hearing in the other version that I heard. And since this is an unfinished version, an early version, not the final version, it was different to hear, and it was actually kind of nice. I kind of like hearing that little variation. like I said, it's always fun when you have the opportunity to watch the evolution of a song. It's always fun to see how a song grows and changes between the first draft and the final draft. So this was kind of cool to see. It was. I don't regret watching this at all. I have no regrets over seeing this whatsoever. I will just say, for me personally, I prefer the other version better, but I do see the reason for this version, and to be honest with you, from a personal standpoint, I may like the other version, but this version makes more sense considering what the song is, what it's about, and what's supposed to kind of invoke and provoke. So this version does make more sense. It does. So I just like the other version better. Anyway, 8.0, that's where we're at. That's the score this is going to get. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So 8.0, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.